Hi, I'm Travis Frampton, President of the University of Dubuque. I'm now finishing my first year here as president of this institution. And if there's one word that kind of encapsulates my experience on this campus, it's momentum. And that's what I wanted to take some time to share with you on this campus, are the exciting things going on that you could potentially participate in this fall. So why don't you join me as we take a quick tour around some exciting things taking place. Well, Natalie, this is really incredible space here with students learning by doing in this clinical site. Tell me a little bit about the healthcare programs at the University of Dubuque, the nursing program, PA program, and the new DO program.
Yeah, so both the PA and the nursing programs are really strong, both seeing growth. The PA program has really started to collaborate with the nursing program to do simulations, work together as far as learning the hands-on skills, sharing some of those same clinical experiences where they work together, and we're really looking forward to the incoming DO program where we will have even better shared experiences, more collaboration, and a lot of resources that we'll be able to work together with.
That collaboration is probably important in spaces like these with a nurse and a PA and a DO having to work together for the patient's care. Absolutely.
Teamwork is really the foundation of great medical treatment, and so this is a great setup to really see that growth happen.
Well, thank you for showing us this space and for sort of contributing to the momentum here at the University of Dubuque. I think this is a really exciting time to be at the university, and thank you for all you do.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So Adam, we are at Walter Woods and Prairies outside of Dubuque, and as we've been talking about momentum that's taking place at the university, when we acquired this property in 2020, and you've been in a faculty position and now as our new VPAA, talk a little bit about the opportunities that new students might have in a space like this.
Yeah, there are so many opportunities to take advantage of out here. I mean, since even before we've held this property, we've done research out here and done service learning projects with our student groups. But now with full ownership of the property, we're really taking advantage of the University of Dubuque's mission to be stewards of this environment. So we have classes out here. In this space right here, I've given a lecture to seminary students on the wonders of water. It's just a fantastic opportunity, a classroom space, a learning, living laboratory where our students can live into the best that they offer.
So you know, Adam, the university uses this space for a lot of academic programming. We have WINT scholars that come out here. We will have some of our first year students in worldview classes utilizing the space. Why don't you talk a little bit about our worldview seminars and that program and what first year students can expect?
Yeah, we're really excited to be starting this pilot project of getting first year students out here at the Walter Woods and Prairies, really to learn about the surroundings, whether that's their peers, and to build relationships with nature and each other through service learning projects, looking at the amazing biodiversity that's in the 146 acres of forest and prairie out here. And this is really a fantastic spot to build relationships and to examine relationships. How are we connected to the real world around us, the natural world, and how are we connected to our peers, our new students, our new colleagues, our new friends?
This space is an incredible space to do that in, whether it's with humans or with nature. So Randy, a lot of exciting things are happening at the University of Dubuque, and the aviation program is certainly one of those. So as I look around, I see a lot of expansion. Why don't you talk about how the university's aviation program has grown over the last 50 years?
Okay, Dr. Frampton. Yeah, the aviation industry as a whole is in dire need of pilots and mechanics and everything. There just aren't enough people in the program. So we've seen our population, student population, double in the last 3 years. So we'll be at almost 500 students this coming fall. And with that, because we've kind of projected out, we do have the aircraft available. All our aircraft are brand new. And the latest and greatest for students to come here. Our learning center is going to more than double in size, so we can add more simulation, more virtual reality training, increase our staff and our faculty to address the student body. And also, we're adding a large hangar to go along with our ramp expansion here with underneath the airport, which will remove this taxiway, so we can house all of our aircraft and do all of our own maintenance right here in one fixed location at the Dubuque Airport.
Well, there are a lot of successes taking place at the University of Dubuque, and this is certainly one of them, and you can really feel the momentum palpably out here at the airport. So thank you for all that you do.
You're welcome. We're happy to be a part of it.
So as you can see, there are a lot of exciting things taking place at the University of Dubuque. And I look forward to greeting you on our campus this fall. You know, this university has been around for almost 175 years. And over the course of that time, it's created tremendous momentum. This fall, when you arrive on our campus, you'll be a part of that momentum. And I look forward to what you'll be able to do, not only for your own story, but also as you participate and contribute to our story at this very special place, the University of Dubuque. So welcome to the university, and go Spartans.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the University of Dubuque's workshop, Last Call for College Apps, Financial Aid and Scholarship. I would like to welcome all students and parents. We have well over 100 students who have registered for this workshop, so we'll be seeing more join the workshop throughout the presentation. My name is JP Novin. I am the founder and CEO of Plexus College Network, and I'm excited to be your moderator today. I know this is part of the college process. This part of the college process can feel a little bit overwhelming. There are applications, financial aid forms, deadlines, family conversations, and big decisions about your future. So tonight, our goal is simple: to make the next steps feel clear, more manageable, and more personal. We're especially focused on students who are still exploring their options, high school seniors, prospective transfer students, and families who want to better understand what the University of Dubuque can offer. By the end of this workshop, I want you to walk away with three things: a better understanding of University of Dubuque, a clearer path for applying and for financial aid and scholarship, and confidence that there are people here ready to help you. So some housekeeping. For one, you are welcome to actually ask questions throughout this presentation. We have representatives from University of Dubuque that will be answering your questions, so this is a perfect time. Don't wait until the end to ask these questions. One other thing that you will receive for attending this workshop is a certificate of attendance. This can be a helpful way to show that you participated in a college planning and financial aid workshop. I've seen in the past that a lot of students actually add this to the college resumes and even to the work resumes, because you're going to learn a lot from this workshop, and I'm excited for you. It is my privilege to introduce a tremendous group of Dubuque administrators, starting with Dr. Travis Frampton, the president of the University of Dubuque, Rebecca Bittetti, a University of Dubuque ambassador and alumna, Bob Brocious, vice president of enrollment management and dean of admission, Sarah Soroka, director of student financial aid, and Melissa Gunnelson, Associate Dean of Admissions. I do want to mention that 4 out of 5 people on here are current alum of University of Dubuque. They come with firsthand experience. So let's begin. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Travis Frampton, president of University of Dubuque. Dr. Frampton became the 12th president of UD in June 2024. His background includes degrees from Stanford University, Yale Divinity School, Baylor, and Erasmus University, Rotterdam in Netherlands. Dr. Frampton has had extensive decades of experience running and leading various universities. Dr. Frampton, thank you for joining us. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Novin. And we appreciate at the University of Dubuque, Plexus, giving us this opportunity to be able to talk a little bit about our university and what we have to offer those that are watching. And I also want to thank all of you that are attending this webinar. And thank you for your time and your interest in the University of Dubuque. And I just want to say from the very beginning, that we are interested in you at the University of Dubuque, and we would love to see you on our campus as a student this fall. And so this evening, you'll learn more about us and pay attention about the ways you can see yourself on our campus and becoming a fully enrolled student. So that's the goal from my perspective. But I wanted you to know that clearly we are interested in you and we would love to see you at the University of Dubuque to make that happen. I wanted to talk a little bit about why the University of Dubuque and what's different about us versus, say, other universities. And from the very beginning, what I'd like to do is what you'll find on most traditional college campuses is a campus in which the student is the audience. So the student receives information, the student takes notes, the student watches the professor perform. And at the University of Dubuque, we realize that that model of education is not the model of education for the future. As a matter of fact, it's not even the model in the present. So if you're a student or a parent or a grandparent of a student, know that at the University of Dubuque, we are here to develop the student. We're here to make the student be the best version of themselves, both as a professional and as a human being. And the way to do that is to get the student away from being a part of the audience to being the performer, to being the doer in the learning. So we are very intentional right now at the University of Dubuque in creating spaces and building spaces literally that put the student at the center of that experience so that the student performs and the student does. And then we believe that the student will learn. In the process of doing that, if you look at the Heritage Center at the University of Dubuque, it's a beautiful facility that we've had for well over a decade. Look at the audience there. Well, I'd love for our students to watch concerts and to listen to comedians and to listen to performers on the stage, but I'm much more interested in potentially a student sitting at that piano and playing the music, so to speak. Even if you're not a musician, you understand the metaphor here is we want to get you out of the audience seat and onto the stage so that you are performing, you are learning, and you are demonstrating your knowledge and understanding. Because when you get in the real world, as many of you already know, you've got to do that. So if you're an athlete, you think about how student athletes, you know that it's you hitting the home run or it's you striking out. What sense does it make if the professor's hitting the home run and the professor's striking out? That's typically what happens in the current traditional model of learning at many college campuses is this lecture format. So we've built these beautiful spaces providing students resources in which to develop their own talents. And I think I can't think of another more beautiful facility than the Heritage Center. We are also expanding our aviation program. For those of you that were watching the intro video, our aviation program is 51 years old. It's a national leader in aviation education, and that's why we're growing. People understand the brand, the value of our education in aviation and what we provide. We're more than doubling our educational classroom spaces, our simulators, and also our access for students to fly planes and the expansion of the hangar. So think about putting the student at the center of the learning experience in this environment. We want the student to become the pilot, not the person watching the plane. And so aviation is a perfect example of, in order to become a pilot, you've got to take control of the plane and fly the plane. The Clapity Center for Innovation is another perfect example. This building is in the process of being built. And this building is our place as a university to imagine what the college of the future should look like. Now, no one can anticipate what colleges in the future of learning would be like 10, 20 years from now, particularly as you think about AI and the way in which it might challenge the relevance of some jobs and positions. So colleges better not just be solely in the business of providing an education to get a certain career path. When I was 18 years old, I had no idea I would be leading a webinar this evening as a college president. There was no college major called How to Be a College President major. What my education did for me and what we offer at the University of Dubuque is the opportunity for the student to develop their own talent so they stand on their own 2 feet in the world and represent themselves, their profession, and their community well. So in this space, you will see access to millions of dollars of equipment, maker spaces, 3D printing labs, carpentry, metalworking, engineering facilities, computer science facilities, a culinary suite, a classroom in the round, a YouTube webinar content creator space for videos, for filming studio quality productions, for recording audio, music. None of these spaces are connected to majors. They are all available to any student that enrolls at the University of Dubuque in order for them to continue learning in the ways in which they want to learn. So every student at UD will have access to that. They will need to learn how to use the equipment. They'll be certified to do that. But in their 4 years here, they can check out those spaces and work on their own projects. Some of them will be connected to their majors, and others might be their own personal project that they can work on. What UD is doing is providing the student access to resources that they would not have at home because they're so expensive and so rare to use. And finally, the College of Osteopathic Medicine. UD is starting our medical school, the first medical school in the state of Iowa in well over 100 years, starting in downtown Dubuque. This site will be in downtown Dubuque, just down the hill, about 1.2 miles away from our main campus, and it provides graduate pipelines to medical school. Our PA program, Physician's Assistance Program, will also be located there. So our undergraduate majors in health professions, health sciences, our nursing major is on campus, wonderful facilities for the nurses. And if you are interested in going on to do healthcare in a graduate school format, the University of Dubuque is preparing the way and building spaces for that to happen. Not only to provide students a major, but also the University of Dubuque standing into the space of serving its community, serving the state, and serving our region and our nation by providing tomorrow's medical providers, physicians, our nation's aviators, and our nation's engineers, mathematicians, performers, and educators, so on. You get the point. So I just wanted to introduce you a little bit about what's been going on and to let you know that we see you as necessary and as important in us solving the world's problems, because you are the vehicle for that to happen. If we could have solved the world's problems, we should have already done it. So we need you to do that. And in order for that to happen, you have to develop yourself so that you can prepare yourself for the work ahead of you. So I look forward to introducing you to the rest of the panel, for you to be introduced to them. But thank you so much for your attention and learning more about the University of Dubuque.
Thank you, President Frampton. Before I move on to Rebecca, when I visited the campus, I was struck by how beautiful everything looks, so brand new, so pristine. Clearly, a lot of investment is being made across your facilities, but I was also very surprised of how many students are actually finding jobs, because you do offer PA, you have aviation, you have MBA. Could you talk about those pathways of students from undergrad, some going to graduate, and also finding jobs, please?
Yeah, thanks, JP. So if you think about, um, for example, the medical school, we have degree pipelines that can connect, um, say, a major that you would take at the university to a career path, whether it be graduate school or a profession. So our nursing program, you would graduate with the undergraduate degree and immediately go into the workforce as a nurse. Our new engineering program that's coming online, many engineers can graduate with a bachelor's degree and go directly into the workforce. And if you think about that, the Innovation Center I introduced to you just a moment ago, that building will also be a meeting space in which industry leaders, companies will be represented in the space. They can come and check out rooms to establish internships, work opportunities while you're in college, and then also connecting you to a potential job at the end of your 4 years when you graduate from UD. So there are a lot of exciting things happening, and I don't want to miss the opportunity to say that going to college will help you get a job. So we do that just like every other college, and we do it quite well here. But what I want you to be aware of is what I wasn't aware of as an 18-year-old. Your college experience has got to be a place where you invest in yourself, invest in the future version of yourself. And college does a wonderful job of that. We are intentionally building those experiences here. And even though we have nice facilities and nice buildings, what you'll soon learn the more you get to know UD, our people are even better than the buildings. The buildings are spaces. The connection happens with people. And I look forward to you meeting more of them on this webinar.
Thank you so much. Next, we're going to hear from someone who can speak to that experience in a very real way. I'm excited to introduce current student as well as an alumna, Rebecca Bittetti. Hi, Rebecca. Please tell us about your experience.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca. I'm an international student from Italy. I originally came to the United States as an exchange student. I attended Cathedral High School in St. Cloud, Minnesota, for those of you who actually know. And I graduated there in May of 2023. And then after high school, I was kind of looking for colleges, and I ended up here in Dubuque at the University of Dubuque, and I started in August of 2023. I double majored in business administration and marketing, and I actually just graduated a few weeks ago in just 3 years. In the fall, I will continue my studies here at UD. I will be pursuing the Master in Management, where I will be focusing on organization, leadership, and workplace effectiveness. Now, one of my favorite experiences studying here has been working as a student ambassador in the admissions office, where I worked there for the past 3 years. I just love being able to, meet new people and new students with their families, give tours around campus, and just help people feel welcome at UD. And then starting this fall in August, I will be working there as a graduate assistant, and I'm just really excited about that opportunity. And another really great thing about UD was the small class sizes. Most of my classes had around 20 to 25 students, and because of that, I was able to get to know most, if not all, of my classmates, and that was really awesome for me. I also got to know my professors really well. If I ever need help, I would just go to their office hours and ask questions, and they were just really happy to help me. And I think this made my learning experience definitely much better and more personal. Now, today I would like to talk about some of the support and resources that students have here at UD. First of all, we have personalized advising experience. So during your first semester, when you come here as a freshman, you'll get a first-year advisor, which will help you, pick your classes and your schedule that will work best for you. After that, you get a professor from the department you choose. In my case, I had a professor in the business department who, helped me pick my classes and guided through my studies. Another great resource is the learning support coaches. They're really helpful, especially for student athletes. They help students make schedules that work with classes, workouts, and practices. They're also there if students just want to talk to someone or they just need extra support. UD also has peer tutors, which are students who pass the class with an A minus or an A, and they got approved by the professor. We usually have at least one tutor for every class that we offer on campus. And peer tutor is also a way to make money because it's a great work study opportunity for all of us students. Then we also have the math and writing support for all of the students who need extra help for assignments, papers, or just simple math classes. We also have the disability support services, which help students get the support they need to be successful in the classes they take. And then we also have the counseling and health services, which are located in our student health center. And a fun fact is that we have a relaxation massage chair and even a therapy dog that we can play with. And then on campus, we have clubs and organizations. I'm talking like personally in the business department, we had the accounting club and the investment club. These clubs are like a great way to meet new people and learn new things outside of the classroom. But then I know that the aviation program has a flight team, the sport marketing management department, they have a club. And I know that the people who join that club, they're able to go to the Super Bowl, which I think it's really awesome. And then for students who just would like to study abroad, we have a studying abroad program in Spain, and that's a semester long. But then we also have shorter trips for like spring breaks, summertime, or winter break. Then UD also offers spiritual life programs, volunteering opportunities, and intramural and wellness activities. So for all those students that don't want to be a student athlete, they don't want to play a sport in college, they just want to be part of like an activity and have fun. Campus activities are also really fun. My favorite ones are doing home comedy. We have comedy shows, food trucks, and many activities for all of us students so we can spend time together and have fun. Another thing I really like about UD is that it is an intentionally residential campus. There are a lot of housing options. We go from traditional residence halls your freshman year, and then we move to pod style apartments, townhouses, and even campus houses. My freshman year, I lived in the traditional freshman dorms. I shared the room with, my roommate, and I think that was a great experience because I was able to make friends. I met all the people on my floor. We had fun, and I just learned how to live with someone else. And then my second year, I was able to live in the apartments that we have on campus. And I absolutely loved it. I had my own room. I share the bathroom with just one person, but then in some cases you share with like two more people and you have access to a full kitchen. And I was able to cook, my Italian meals. So overall, my experience at UD has been amazing. I'm so thankful for all the support, resources, and opportunities that the university has given me.
Rebecca, as you were looking at uh, various universities, how did you end up selecting Dubuque as a school to attend, and how do you feel about your decision now?
So I'm really happy of the decision I've made 3 years ago. I'm so thankful for everything I could do here at UD. I found out about UD because my boyfriend, when I was a senior in high school back in Minnesota, he was a freshman here and he decided to come here because of aviation. When I came here to visit him, I just fell in love with the campus. I was able to meet my professor and I just loved the small class sizes. And then a big thing for me was definitely scholarships. International students don't really get a lot of money off tuition, and my parents had to pay. I couldn't really get student loans, so I was able to get a lot of scholarships, and that's why I'm here. And then I would say that UD was really special also because of the people. I found my best friends and I made great memories. Also, the professor was also like made a big difference for me. They helped me grow, not just as a student, but also as a person. They care about my success and they were always there when I needed help. So because of my experience at UD, I feel like I'm ready and excited for my future.
So even though you felt you didn't have all the financial resources, you applied and you felt
Yep.
UD made it happen.
Yes, 100%.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now we're going to turn to Bob Brocious. But Bob has been with Dubuque for 28 years and has held progressively senior roles during that time. He is the Vice President of Enrollment Management and Dean of Admission. He's a guy you want to know if you want to attend UD. Bob, I will hand it to you to to explain your role and also how students could apply and enroll at UD. Welcome.
Thank you, JP. I appreciate it so much. I'm excited to be with you today, and welcome again. Whether you're a future Spartan exploring your college options or you're a family member supporting someone you care about, thanks again for spending your evening with us. This hour really is about discovery, discovery of our campus and of our community and the possibilities waiting within you. Events like this can be very special. You know, the energy you feel around you comes from students who are imagining their futures, staff who believe deeply in their work and take joy in helping every student find the right path. We're excited to share that with you today for sure. I'm going to kind of switch gears a little bit. Students, I want to talk with you about this process. It can be overwhelming. You're trying to make a big decision during a busy, sometimes stressful time of your life. There's pressure, there's lots of advice, and a long list of questions that you're expected to answer. I often refer to Jeff Salingo's recent book, Dream School. And in that book, he offers an important perspective. He explores what students actually want and need when they imagine their dream school. He says that students often begin with a vision shaped by rankings, brand names, or something they've seen online. But Jeff follows real students through this college search. He reveals that their true dream school often becomes the place where they feel supported, challenged, and known. In other words, your dream school isn't always the one you imagined before the process begins. It's the one where you can grow into the best version of yourself. And that message fits perfectly with who we are at the University of Dubuque. That's really what we want to help you do. At the University of Dubuque, we talk about two powerful words, be and become. Be is about who you are right now. That's your story, your strengths, your curiosity, your goals, and even your uncertainties. You bring those with you to campus, and we're excited about that. Become is the journey ahead, your growth, your discovery, your maturing confidence, and the shaping of your purpose. Our promise is simple. At UD, you will be valued for who you are and supported in who you are becoming. In Salingo's insights in Dream School remind us that students don't thrive because they chase prestige. They thrive because they find a place that interests them personally. That's exactly the kind of community UD strives to be. One of the striking themes in the book is how much students want to feel heard in this process. They want colleges to understand their goals, their worries, their hopes for the future, and they want to find a campus that actually listens. UD is that kind of place. When students and families talk about why they choose the University of Dubuque, as you've heard from Rebecca, they often mention professors who learn students' names and their dreams, staff who offer guidance before it's even asked for, a community grounded in faith, character, and caring, an environment where students are truly known. Students here are not lost in the crowd. They are seen, supported, encouraged, and challenged to grow. As you experience this event, we hope you feel the spirit of this community. You'll hear from staff who are passionate about supporting, leading, teaching, and mentoring. You'll meet a current student, of course you have, who not long ago was sitting exactly where you are now, wondering where she would fit and who she was becoming. You'll see classrooms, labs, studios, residence halls, and spaces where students learn, serve, laugh, question, and grow together. And you'll hear about programs including aviation, the sciences, ministry, business, education, health sciences, the arts, and many more that prepare students not only for careers, but for meaningful lives. We hope today helps you imagine yourself here, not as a guest, but as part of this community. Students, wherever your journey leads, remember this: your future is not something that just happens. It's something you shape through your choices, your curiosity, your effort, and your resilience. College is a transformational time. It's a time of becoming wiser, becoming more confident, becoming more aware of your place in the world, and becoming more connected to your purpose. If you choose UD, and we hope you do, you are choosing a place that will walk with you through that transformation every step of the way. So be curious, ask questions, share your goals, explore this place with both an open mind and an open heart. Imagine the future you want and the community that will support that future. We're honored to have you here, and we hope you begin to see why so many students discover that their true dream school is the one that helps them be and become, the one that helps them grow into the person they're meant to be. Now I'd like to switch and focus just a minute on a brief admission overview and highlight a couple of important topics. First of all, I want to impress on you that at every college that you consider attending, there is a person who's personally responsible for sharing information with you. That person is typically called an admission counselor, and we have some of the best here working at the University of Dubuque. It's super important that you communicate with your admission counselor and build a relationship with that person to gain all of the details and all the information and make all the connections that you need to make an informed decision about your college. Applying for admission is, of course, the first step. You can apply for admission at the University of Dubuque on our website or via the Common Application. At the University of Dubuque, there's no application fee. We are completely test optional. You'll only need to send your transcript from your high school in order to be considered for admission. Essays and personal recommendations are accepted, but not required. Good students get admitted. Last year, the average grade point average for the class that entered the university was 3.4 GPA. The minimum grade point average, 2.5. And we do offer a bridge program to students who we can find potential who don't necessarily meet those qualifications. I strongly recommend, in closing, that you schedule your meeting with an admission counselor to learn more and then visit the campus soon. Really important to begin that process. And thank you again for being here this evening.
Bob, I'm going to leave this screen so students have a chance to take a picture of the QR code. You know, you've been here for over 3 decades, including, your undergraduate years and then your tenure working here. I'm sure you've seen generations of past students come to Dubuque. What is the affinity of all the graduates of Dubuque and what do you see them doing? I mean, what is their relationship with this school in general?
Yeah, that's a good question. I appreciate asking that. It's really, first of all, the president made mention of it in his opening, and that is the people make the difference. The people here at the University of Dubuque are tremendous, committed to the mission of serving students and supporting students and helping them to be all that they can be in their lives. And it's been really just the greatest pleasure in my life to work with thousands of students to help them find their place at the University of Dubuque and experience their growth and watch them mature and learn and develop into the people and the professionals that they've become, and then go out into the world and do great things and stay connected to the university. And you mentioned it, JP, but we've seen generations. Some of the first students who came here as I began my career have now sent their sons and daughters to the University of Dubuque, and they're also doing exceedingly well.
Thank you so much. Now, after you apply, the big question comes up, which is financial aid. So let's talk about that next. Thank you, Bob. I'd like to introduce Sarah Soroka, Director of Student Financial Aid and Planning at University of Dubuque. Sarah has been at Dubuque since 2014. Welcome, Sarah. I'm sure there are a lot of questions about affordability and how do I pay for my tuition. So I hand the baton to you to walk the students through this. Thank you.
Thank you, JP, and thank you to all of our participants for taking the time out of your evening today to learn more about the University of Dubuque and what we can offer for you. So as JP said, I am the Director of Financial Aid here, and we work really closely with all of our students from before you begin classes to after graduation. The first step that you want to do is complete a FAFSA. The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. This is an application that is done every academic year. If you're coming in the fall for 2026, if you have not done your FAFSA yet, you'll want to make sure that you do that as soon as you can, because some schools do have deadlines. Some state scholarships have deadlines. It doesn't take very long to do. So I encourage you to do that at any time, as soon as you can. But it is a free application. So it's at studentaid.gov. And that website is going to be one of your greatest friends for financial aid throughout your whole academic career here. So once you do the FAFSA, when you start doing it, you and your parent are each going to have a login. You're going to create a FSA ID, and that's what you're going to use every year. The contributor is your parent. So once the student starts the application, they will be asked to submit a contributor email, which is the parent email. That will send a link to the parent, and the parent will then create their own login. They'll get an email saying, hey, help your student out, finish your part of the FAFSA. It does not take very long to do this. Usually the scariest part is the taxes, but most of the time the taxes come right in from the IRS where you hardly even notice that it's happening. We do take taxes from 2 years prior. So for the 26-27 FAFSA, it's going to look at taxes from 2024. It will ask if you have any untaxed income, record of assets, businesses, things like that. If it's pretty straightforward taxes, it's going to be pretty straightforward doing your FAFSA. You can also add up to 20 schools on your FAFSA. So if you're just curious about schools and not really sure, go ahead and put them on. It will go right to that school, and then usually for us, we work with the admissions counselor. You can look it up by state, by the school name, or you can look by school code. Our school code is on the screen there for you, 001891. Just an easy, quick way to pop in University of Dubuque on that FAFSA for you. So then you can go right here, studentaid.gov again. This is a QR code. It'll take you right to that spot. Our QR code, 001891. So then some of the next steps that you have once we get your FAFSA, we work really close with the admissions counselor. So you're actually going to start talking to them before you start talking to us, but that way everybody's on the same page. And so everybody knows what's going on and nobody's confused, and we can make this process very smooth for you. Once we have everything good to go, we'll put together a financial aid offer for you. This offer can include institutional aid, such as merit scholarships and grants. We have some really fantastic merit-based scholarships, so those are going to depend on your grades coming in and what's on your transcripts, and your admissions counselor will work with you on that. We also have other institutional grants and scholarships too, and you can always look on our website, dbq.edu, and find a list of those as well. Other things that would be on your financial aid offer would be federal grants, such as the Pell Grant, federal supplemental grant, other state grants if you qualify for an Iowa grant, also federal college work study. Even if it's not on your financial aid offer, work study is a great way to help pay down your student account without taking out loans. This is something that is a campus job. We have a list of them that are available all year long, so you can always make plans now over the summer to get that job right away when you start campus. It's really nice because those supervisors work with you and work around your schedule because they know you're a student. You're a full-time student, not a full-time employee, right? So this is a good way. Again, you can have it elect to go to your student account to help pay that down. You can also have it go to your bank account for some extra spending money. Totally up to you on what you want to do, but we'll help you with that work study process as well. The other thing on your aid offer would be federal loans. So there's subsidized and unsubsidized loans, which we'll talk through once we get to that point in the process. But you might have both, you might have one, and every grade level that you're in has a different loan limit amount. But that will be on there as well. There's some extra steps taken if you do accept those federal loans, and we'll talk about that process as well. The other thing on your aid offer is going to be an estimated balance due. This is the best estimate we can give you to say, here's what you're going to need out of pocket if all other aid is accepted. So we try to make it as affordable as possible for you, which is why we also work with your admissions counselors too. To take care of that remaining balance, there's different options that you can take. We'll provide you with those. We'll help you walk you through that process and what's the best option for you as well. So once you get admitted, accepted, file the FAFSA, complete all the financial aid steps that we're asking you to do, and go over those other payment options. So you can do a payment plan. We have a great payment plan option that is per semester based. You can also look at private loans. There's a lot of good companies out there, and we do have a list that we'll give you of ones that we see most often used. But there's a lot of them out there, and we do encourage students and families to do multiple applications to get the best interest rate that you can and repayment options. We are always available to help, and you don't have to do just one or the other. If you find a great loan and want to, decline the other one that has a higher interest rate, you certainly can, and we can help you with that. You can also do part of it on a payment plan, part of it in a private loan, whatever works best for you and your family. Consider work study to help keep your loan debt down, and then consider outside scholarships. If you have scholarships coming from your high school, from community projects, anything that you might be involved in, awesome, great way to keep that loan debt down, and that's what we are all about. We are here for the student throughout your entire time here. We do financial literacy in the classes. We do pop-up events. We try to meet the students where they are. And even after graduation, we'll stay in contact with you. And we're always here to help you with repayment too. So we want to see every student here succeed and grow, not in every other aspect, but also financially too.
Sarah, I really appreciate how you clearly broke down the financial aid process. What do you say to a student or a family that says, I just cannot afford to attend a private university?
It is a concern, and that's again why we work really closely with the admissions counselor and encourage those outside scholarship searches, looking at different private loans, payment options, things like that. But as a first year student, we always encourage students to go back to their admissions counselor so we can all work together as a team to help them.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And now to help bring us into the final steps, I'm pleased to introduce Melissa Gunnelson, Associate Dean of Admission at University of Dubuque. She's also an alum. She joined the university in 1996 and has a BA and a master's, your Master's of Arts in Communication from University of Dubuque. Welcome, Melissa.
Well, hello, everyone. And it's a pleasure to chat with you all about opportunities that the university has. And we've covered a lot of information. And I would like to take the opportunity to talk a little bit more about kind of your next steps. If you have found that the university, things that we have covered tonight, and you are interested in learning more about us and the university, we're excited to do that. The biggest question, do you still have time to visit UD? And we start school in 3 months. So there's a lot that can happen over a 3-month window. And so it's not too late to visit, to apply, and have things and come experience our campus. Some of you might be from a greater distance, so we would be happy to schedule like virtual times, virtual meetings with you. But really the next step is to schedule a visit. And as you can see, we're kind of like a hub area in the Midwest. An hour and a half from Cedar Rapids, Madison, 3 hours from Chicago, Illinois, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Des Moines, and then about, give or take, a 4.5, 5 hour drive from Minneapolis and St. Louis area. So we consider we're kind of like the best of all worlds. It's a quick trip to those bigger cities, but the city of Dubuque itself is about 60,000, not too rural, but not overwhelming size-wise either. So lots of opportunities to connect in the community as well as, on campus. But the next steps for you, schedule a visit. Try to get to campus. And again, if you're from a great distance, we can do something virtually with your counselor or maybe a coach, or connect you with an academic professor or faculty member. But if you have the opportunity to come to actually visit, you'll get to tour the campus. Again, meet with a faculty member in a number of departments that we have here on campus. If you're interested in athletic programs, we want to connect you with a coach, but maybe you're interested in ROTC, or you're interested in theater or band or choir. Maybe you're interested in campus ministry. We want to connect you with people here on campus to learn about those programs and those opportunities. You'll also get the chance to meet with an admission counselor, admission representatives. We can talk about the financial aid things that Sarah has discussed. Once you have an opportunity to visit, and maybe you aren't able to visit due to distance, you want to apply for admission. As Bob had mentioned, it's free, so there's no cost to apply. There's no commitment to apply to the university. And most of you, as you're finishing up, or maybe already finished up your senior year, we do request now an official final transcript. As you're finishing up, we would need an official final transcript from your high school. We're reviewing applications every day. We have rolling admission, so the admission committee reviews the application, not only for admission, but scholarship opportunities at the same time. And then, as Sarah had mentioned, you want to file your FAFSA. Many of you have probably already filed. I've talked to a couple students that they're like, okay, I'm waiting for my parents to do something. But file your FAFSA, or add the University of Dubuque to your FAFSA. Again, Sarah shared our code, but you must be accepted for admission in order to receive a financial aid award. And the financial aid award is going to be a full comprehensive award. It's going to include tuition, room and board, and student fees. Also, books are included. We do not have a book fee. It's got like a loaner option for the semester. Now, if you don't return a book, then you might get charged at the end. And then there's some computer programs that are assigned to certain classes, or maybe there's a workbook that's specific that only you can use for a class. There might be a minimal charge, $49, $59 for things like that. But once you have applied and been accepted and receive a financial planning award, you're going to want to review your financial planning award. Take a look at that, discuss it with your admission counselor, discuss it with your family members, because I'm sure they're supporting you through this process as well. After you've done that and you're like, yes, this looks like something that I'm ready to do, then you're going to want to confirm your attendance to the University of Dubuque. And you do that with an admission deposit, and then also housing application. That secures the admission deposit secures your spot, not only in the classroom, but then also in the residence halls. And then we will move forward with scheduling your classes and registering for fall classes this fall. We actually are just starting that process next week for new first-year freshman students. So there's still time, and we're just beginning the process of putting together schedules. Students start moving in. Fall athletes move in, believe it or not, the middle of August. Yay! Everybody's excited about moving. But fall athletes will move in a little bit ahead of the rest of the students and kind of get acclimated, start their camps and practices and stuff. But and here's some great pictures of campus and students enjoying coffee from the coffee shop there. But we have Spartan Start, which is a 3-day program for first year students that begins on August 23rd. The rest of the students, non-athletes, fall athletes, will move in on August 23rd. And then we have a program for 2.5 days to help get you acclimated to the campus, meet people here. Obviously, if you have things you're finishing up with financial aid, or you want to meet your academic advisor or talk to someone in a program or a club or organization, you get to do all of those things during our Spartan Start. Here's some of our great facilities, our indoor rec where they indoor track, tennis matches, all kinds of fun things. And they also do events for students here. But yes, it's not too late to visit, to apply, to schedule a virtual session with an admission counselor. And you can do that by clicking the link here and moving forward with those steps.
Melissa, thank you so much. Now we're going to take some questions. I'm going to read off some questions from the attendees, from prospective students. In the meantime, you all are going to see a poll that is a simple one that we would like for you to complete. So as I'm asking the question, our team is going to show you a poll to actually complete at this point. So the first question is for President Frampton, which is, if I am an undergraduate student that goes to UD, will I have any special preferences to be admitted into the graduate program, such as the medical school or PA or the MBA program? That first question is for you, President Frampton.
Yeah, thank you. I think I was able to write a response in the chat, but I'll share it with everyone else in the room also. So if you are interested in the medical school program, we actually have a Bachelor of Science in Medical Science degree that is specifically designed for students that have medical school in their future. That's in mind, and also our PA students. And so if you meet the academic qualifications and the requirements for admission as a UD undergraduate student that graduated from the University of Dubuque, and you meet those requirements, you will be granted an interview with our medical school, which is a competitive part of the process. Not every student gets an interview. And so that's one thing that we can offer students that come to UD. You'll have an opportunity to establish the relationships that are so important with the future medical faculty, get to know them on a personal level as you submit your application. But if they come to UD and meet the requirements for admission, they will at least be guaranteed an interview with the medical school.
Thank you so much. The next question is for Sarah Soroka. This student has asked that they have currently received generous financial aid packages from other universities in Iowa, and they wonder if it makes sense to explore what kind of package they could receive from Dubuque and compare them. And is it okay for them to share what kind of packages they've received with you?
Yeah, absolutely. We're more than happy to take a look at offers that you've gotten from other schools. The admissions counselor can go through everything step by step, or if something just doesn't make sense or you need a little bit more explaining, whether it's our aid offer or another school, we want to help you guys make sense of everything. So we can definitely take a look at that with the admissions counselor that you work with when you come in.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And Bob, there's a question here that is asking if can I still apply to Dubuque? And then the second part is how long will it take for me to get accepted or rejected from my application? When would I hear from you?
Yeah, great question, JP. We do have rolling admission, which means the application for admission remains open until classes begin in the fall. We read applications every single day. So as soon as that application is received, and it's processed essentially in one day, and we have a transcript to support that student's claims of their academic credentials. Then we will have a chance to review the entire application. The admission committee will make a decision, and that will be published essentially within 24 hours. So we really try to give feedback to students as quickly as possible. That, of course, then is that information is then shared with the Office of Student Financial Planning, as Sarah mentioned, and then we can move forward to the next steps, which is building out a financial plan for that student. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And Melissa, there's a question here in terms of the Career Center. And it is asking about internship and work opportunities while attending Dubuque. What's available to students for that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we actually, for almost every program, require an internship or a senior research project. And so students have wonderful opportunities there. We have a career resource center right here on campus. And so they actually, throughout their 4 years, students will participate in different events and activities that the career services put on. We have career fairs here. We have programs where students can um, work on updating their resume, putting together a cover letter, mock interviews. So there's some great opportunities to help students prepare and get ready for that next level, for that interview process as they, roll into the end of their senior year and do those things. So yeah, some great things here.
Appreciate it. And Rebecca, you are now a student again, going to your graduate program at Dubuque. Could you make a case to students who have not made their final decision in consideration of Dubuque?
Definitely like apply. You'll have the best time of your life. You'll grow up, and like I said earlier, not just as a student, but also as a person. And then 100% like I recommend it. It's great. It's awesome. I've had the best experience.
Thank you so much. And for everyone who has attended, I want to thank you. But one of the things I want to emphasize, you don't see this in all colleges, as expansive, not expensive, as expansive Dubuque is, and the offer they make. I am shocked by how accessible everyone is, including President Frampton. You can see their email, his phone number, Sarah, Bob, Melissa. I'm going to leave the screen up here. You could reach out to them directly. And I encourage you to go and visit the campus because it is such an immersive experience. It is so beautiful, so pristine, so many opportunities. Go visit the clubs, sit in a class, get a campus tour. Promise you will not be disappointed. I want to thank all the parents and students who've taken time to attend this workshop. I want to thank all the participants and presenters from University of Dubuque. We'll stay on for another 5-10 minutes for any additional questions, and we'll be closing down the poll on top of the hour. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Appreciate it.
For those students who are still online right now, I just wanted to share with you. This is kind of like the closing credits at a movie. It's the last scene of the movie to see if there's another version of the movie coming out. One of the we talked a lot tonight about the cost of education. The cost of university education is one of the most confusing parts of applying for college. So what I would do is encourage you no matter where you apply, but especially in applying to the University of Dubuque, there are so many, depending on where you're from. For example, the state of Iowa offers certain financial aid opportunities and grant money that's only available to Iowa students. Your own states have that kind of access to you. So by applying to the University of Dubuque, by getting that application in, that's the major first step that we can then package and look for you, put us to work to help find ways of closing that gap. That tuition price is hardly any student pays that total price, because we always find ways of bringing that down so education is affordable and accessible to you. So I just want to encourage you, the first step is applying, and then put us to work to go find the resources for you to make a UD education affordable.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. And if you have any questions, you have the emails. Please feel free to email us. We are going to now close down the poll, and wishing everyone a wonderful evening. Thank you.